So I asked those of you who feel like there's only two genders to share why. And 53% of you told me there's only two genders because of biology. You know, there's male, female, XY, XX, and it's not a complicated issue. This is fairly straightforward, and so on and so forth. Logically, you know, let's walk through this. In its purest interpretation, gender equals biology implies that all of the differences that we see between men and women in society are ultimately the product of our bodies.
No, bitches like you just make it that way. You cause problems and then complain about the problems you caused. I mean, most of the time, you just assume the worst of people and cause problems when it wouldn't be a problem in the first place because your feminist minds are too fucking sad to believe that somebody could actually be a good person and have a penis at the same time. Get your fucking 600 genders and your fucking Jennifer looking ass from Back to the Future out of here, bitch. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Wait. Oh, yeah, there's over 600 genders. One sec, just let me check the list. Welcome, males, females, attack helicopters, transgenders, sandwiches, Battletoads, toasters, non-binaries, Rubik's Cube.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Now that I've mentioned all 600 fucking genders, welcome back to another video. Today I found this video of this woman who thinks that there's more than two genders. You either have a Nintendo Wii or you don't. It's not that fucking complicated. I don't get these people who think that there's like 700 fucking genders.
We're slaves to our bodies, in a sense, and our social environment doesn't, play a hand in shaping who we are. If biology alone creates the differences between men and women, these differences should be universal throughout the human species.
Nobody said that your gender controls how good of a person you are or who the fuck you are. All people are saying is that you have a dick or you don't. I don't think it's a big deal. Like, literally, nobody cares. It's just a fucking sex organ. Get over it. Yeah, whatever. Don't you think it's a little sad that scientists are working on ways that people can change their fucking gender rather than curing fucking cancer? Or, doing literally anything that's useful to society? Oh, wait. That would actually freaking positively impact people, and we can't have that in our society.
There are also a lot of differences, too, between cultures when it comes to gender, and certainly throughout history. How do we account for cultures where the gender roles are completely swapped? How do we account for cultures where there are 3, 4, even 5 genders? I mean, I'm not just making this stuff up.
Yes, you are. Stop pulling random bullshit out of your ass. But more importantly, I'm inventing a new genital. It's called the Whopper. Basically, we super glue a cheeseburger from Burger King on your ass.
It's real and it exists in the world, and so we have to try to make sense of it. None of this is to say that biology plays absolutely no role in our behavior either.
I guess you're kind of right here, because if you had an IQ over 5, you wouldn't have made this video.
There was a meta-analysis that was done recently, which is always preferable because it looks at a whole bunch of studies at once. I think this one looked at, about 45 different studies altogether. So this found that there were, 3 main sex differences that may be very heavily influenced by biology. However, for a lot of gender differences, the evidence overwhelmingly points to both some role of biology and of our social environment at once. So the next question then is, well, how much of our gender differences are biological versus social? To what degree does each play a role? And I think that is the interesting question.
Who gives a fuck if somebody wants to be masculine or feminine? All people are saying is that you either have a dick or you don't. Gender is just your fucking genitalia. A peanut butter sandwich does not qualify as a fucking gender.
And I think that's a question that has to be asked on a case-by-case basis. Comparing male suicide to, women not being in STEM.
I don't get this women aren't in STEM thing. It's just less popular with women, I guess. Like, are we supposed to change people's opinions so everything's equal? Just hold women hostage and make them do jobs they don't want to do.
In a nutshell, why I think there is more to gender than just biology.
All there is to gender is whether or not you have a dick. I don't see how that's like a big issue with you.
But what I do like about this perspective, and what I do take comfort in, that I think a lot of anti-feminists and skeptical types take comfort in, is the fact that gender equals sex is, based on objective information. Sex is relatively easily observable, it's tangible, it's measurable, it's material. Sometimes it's nice to just have things be simple,
If that's the case, then I identify as a fucking Subway sandwich, and if you try and insult me or make fun of me for that, I'm gonna cancel you and ruin your whole life.
What does this guy have, fucking AIDS or some shit? What the f***?